Peter Brackley, welcome to the Jose Diaz Stadium in Lima. And the big question then tonight, can Bolivia take another forceful stride towards the World Cup finals? For Peru, it's certainly the last opportunity to maintain what's already an outside chance of qualifying. But if Bolivia can beat them in front of their own partisan supporters, well, then perhaps one of the big surprises of the World Cup could be on. Bolivia undoubtedly were the underdogs in this group when it started, but those two wins have changed all that. Although, of course, they were at home in both games, and opposing teams always find it difficult to play in La Paz because of the altitude problem. I wonder how the Bolivians will fare now in their two away fixtures, here against Peru, and of course when they take on Uruguay in Montevideo. Contrasting picture in prospect then perhaps, but in the meantime the group is far from being a one-horse race, and this is a great chance for the Bolivians here to build on those earlier successes. Well, with me in the commentary box tonight, I'm pleased to say, is the England coach, Don Howe. England, of course, well on course for a place in the Italy finals themselves next year, but what are your feelings, Don, about how this one is shaping up?
Well, they've been such a surprise packet, Bolivia, that anything could happen. I mean, that win against Uruguay was absolutely outstanding, and they did it with some exciting football. I mean, the 1-2s on the edge of the box to get the second goal was super. So I'm looking forward to this game. I mean, Peru have struggled since that fantastic, since that terrible hair crash. So, and they have always been a world power, Peru. I mean, more times than not, they've qualified for the World Cup. So it looks like being a real top-class game.
Yes, Peru 4 times, they've reached the finals, but they've got a real struggle on this time. Uruguay is still the favourites, I don't think there's any doubt about that, but Bolivia really have upset the apple cart. As we await then the kick-off, Peru here in the lighter strip with that red stripe, and they're attacking the goal to our left in the first half. Bolivia with wins from their 2 home games, and as I was saying there a moment or so ago, it's going to be interesting to see how they do cope away from the height of La Paz. Playing here then in Lima against Peru, who've lost both their opening games. This is Del Solar who scored that goal in La Paz, but then the Bolivians coming back strongly. No news as yet of the lineups. We'll bring you those as soon as we can. Looking around the stadium, it looks as if it's a much smaller crowd than the Peruvians could have expected if they'd got better results in their first 2 games. They were outclassed really overall by Uruguay. This is Meljar for Bolivia, and he is a very influential player for them, as we saw in the match last week against Uruguay.
I always think that the teams that played altitude, for instance in Mexico and the Bolivians, is that they get the best of both worlds. Because when they play at home, the team that come in haven't got time to acclimatise, so obviously they get out of breath quite quickly and they don't last the full hour and a half. And when they come down to a lower altitude, it works in their favour. It's a little bit like the Kenyans in athletics. You know, they're always fantastic runners, because when they come down from altitude, they run through our atmosphere at that lower level quite easy.
There's Olivares for Peru, rather crudely checked, and he lashed out to himself there, which was very unnecessary. Olivares was clearly fouled. The referee had seen the offence, had given the free kick, and he certainly kicked the player who fouled him in the first place. Here's Del Solar then, who impressed me a great deal in the first 2 games, even though Peru were not on the winning side on either occasion. Ferrufino, number 4 there, I think, letting the ball run out for a goal kick, and I think they've got a change in goal. Galata has been in goal.
It's one of the most striking goalkeeping jerseys I've ever seen. I understand the one team are playing in green, so that's a little bit of a problem, but normally it's a yellow shirt or a white shirt, but to play in a red and black hoop shirt, it's very unusual.
It looks to be more at home at Twickenham or somewhere, like a rugby shirt, really. And in these first few minutes, both teams taking time to settle. And I would think the Bolivians wouldn't be too unhappy with the draw here, but the crunch game, of course, is going to be against Uruguay, who still have to be the favourites, Tom.
That's right. It was a fantastic win of Bolivia's when they beat Uruguay, because I don't think anybody expected it. Because they are one of these teams, a little bit like Venezuela, who really are one of the, how can I put it, the countries that everybody beat out there. But obviously they're improving.
And from what I saw of the game, it was a deserved win too for Bolivia. They showed a lot of attacking flair. They have some fine players. This is Soria. The game just a couple of minutes old if you're joining us. No score as yet. Peru against Bolivia in Lima in a vital World Cup game, which may well have a considerable bearing on the outcome, the final outcome of this qualifying group. Uruguay, the other team. Fairly patchy start to the game. Peru, remember, who scored first in La Paz. But they were never really allowed to get into full flow against Uruguay, who were very strong defensively. And they had on the break Sosa and Alzamendi, who scored those 2 goals. No doubt now at all that Ruben Sosa of Uruguay, one of the outstanding players in the world, and we've seen a lot of him in recent weeks, Don, in the South American Championship. He's very, very sharp, isn't he?
Outstanding player.
Throw then to Bolivia.
Both sides are taking time to settle down here. I don't know whether it's nerves or what, but the passing's not so good. They're both giving the ball away a lot.
Romero, I think there, number 10. Got an injury last week, but seems to be fit enough to start this one anyway. Here he is now. Very experienced player. He's been on the international scene for around 10 years now. And here's Meljar, who plays in Argentina. For River Plate, Romero.
Yeah, most of their best players do get, like it goes on all over the world now, they go out to Argentina.
They've got a corner then, which Romero will take. Olivares has done well here. Girano. Girano, who plays his club football in Bolivia, so they know all about him. Crowd urging Peru on, knowing that only a win will keep them in with a chance, and it really is an outside chance after those 2 defeats. Ferrufino, the ball coming off then for a throw to Bolivia, who last qualified for the finals back in 1950. And I think then they may have been invited rather than actually qualified. But we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They didn't do very well anyway. They lost 8-0 to Uruguay. Free kick to Bolivia. Rather disappointing time for them in the South American Championships.
The Peruvians have always been built on a kind of a Brazilian style, very individual. When you think about, the old players like Cubilas and Uribe, who were outstanding individual players. And they used to have an old Brazilian manager called Tim. I always remember in 1982 in Spain, he was a Brazilian man. And obviously his influence on the team in the Brazilian style, you could see.
And they have a Brazilian in charge now too, in Pepe, who you'll remember, the old partner of Pelé, of course, back in the late 50s. Around about the time you were playing.
Well, he used to do all the combinations with Pelé, the little 1-2 combinations, Pepe. He was the player that Pelé bounced all the balls off, like he give it him and he back, give it him and he back.
Foul on Romalo. Here's Meljar, seeing plenty of the ball in the early stages. And the Peruvians will have a wary eye on him. Free kick taken quickly, Girano. And they've spread the play well here. The Bolivians very alert and very competitive in the first few minutes.
They're working very hard without the ball, the Bolivians. You know, they're closing things down quickly, getting tackles in.
Del Solar does look such a comfortable player on the ball. Here's Olivares. Peruvians don't seem to have a settled side at the moment. Made more changes again for this one. So it's a desperate last throw of the dice for them. But it's hard to see really how they can possibly qualify. Free kick to Peru for the foul on Olivares.
They've definitely made their mind at the Bolivians that they're going to go out there and fight the battle in the Peruvian half, if they can. I mean, they're coming forward and hustling, getting tackles in, and they're not going to just drop back and defend their own half.
And they're in possession again here now with Soria, another experienced player. And they've got a few on the side who've been around a while. Given away then by Soria, who was facing the wrong way, and we've got a free kick.
I don't know whether he connected with that kick there. He definitely lashed out the defender, but whether he connected or not, I don't know. But it's a dangerous place once more for a free kick.
Just a few yards outside that penalty area. So a chance here for Peru. Del Solar is there. He can certainly strike a ball.
Good distance for over the wall here. You know, it's around about 22, 23 yards. You've got time now to get it up quickly and get it down.
There's Del Solar, came off the wall. Could have been an awkward ball for the goalkeeper to watch it all the way, and it's a corner. 10 minutes gone, and a positive sign here that Peru are getting into their stride at last. So I think is Urubi, who you mentioned earlier on. One of the most talented players in South American football down the years. Little nudge, and that'll be a free kick to Bolivia. Uribe, who plays for a Colombian side, one of the leading clubs in Colombia. And that is certainly the nattiest goalkeeper's jersey I've seen for a long time. Can't see Peter Shilton in one of those, Don.
No, he wouldn't get away with it anyway.
I presume he is supposed to be in goal, whoever he is, but he's not just turned up and looked around.
The thing about it, at least he's distinctive, which is important for a goalkeeper.
It's like a wasp. Meljar threading it through. The shot not really hit with any power. They've got two sharp players up front in Peña and Romalo. Peña with both goals against Uruguay. Romalo, who scored in the first game against Peru. Purizaga, goalkeeper for Peru. Little Brazilian touch then. They've always been regarded, Peru, as probably the leading nation outside the top three, outside Brazil, Uruguay and Argentina.
No, without a doubt. A very skillful country.
They've left themselves with an awful lot to do in this group. Bolivia still very much in there fighting. Some nice touches here though from Peru, and they're testing out the Bolivian defence now. Olivares couldn't get in. We've got some big fellas at the back, Bolivia. Throw taken by Olivares, Del Solar. Little Hirano, he's very quick. Romero, he's prepared to take them on too. Romero came off him. Soria. Well, we've heard the news, Don Howe, today that Brazil have been awarded the game by FIFA after that fracas with Chile last week. We'll have a chat about that at half-time, but for anyone tuning in and wondering the news, Brazil will go on to the finals in Italy next year. They've been awarded the game by 2-0, although they were only leading 1-0. FIFA's decision is that Chile, having not come back on the field, are to be penalised. Brazil have been fined as well, but Chile have lost the points and they are out of the World Cup. Brazil will go on next year. More about that later on. Free kick then to Peru. No goals here in the first quarter of an hour of this World Cup qualifying match in Lima. Olivares. Again, neat piece of skill. We are receiving some team sheets now, which is suggesting that Balaza is in goal. I've got a feeling though it's Trucco. We'll see that later on. Here's the free kick, comfortably cleared away by Bolivia. Started strongly enough. By Olivares.
I don't think the pitch is in hell of a good shape. I mean, the ball, when it's running, it's bouncing and lifting, and you know, anything that's played along the ground, it's getting up and.
Beljar with the free kick.
It looks very dry and hard.
Throw to Bolivia. Rather untidy, and away come the Peruvians. Serrano brought it away. Players up in support here. Really stretching the Bolivian defence. They forced the corner, so they broke very quickly then from defence to attack. Uribe with the corner. And another one. Fairly even contest so far, neither goalkeeper really extended. Crowd making plenty of noise, hoping to encourage their side. Uribe with the corner, again it's cleared away. And safely out. Is it for a goal kick or a corner? A little bit of confusion. The referee says that is a corner. Bolivians none too happy. Their protests are in vain. And here is the corner. Rather spectacular. Appeals for handball, not given. Referee indicating there that he felt the ball didn't strike the arm.
Well, if it did, it wouldn't. I don't think it was arm to ball anyway, and he was right on the spot, the ref.
Perfectly placed. Here's Olivares. He was balked by the defender, but he kept going well, he persevered, and in the end, he had to be hooked away.
He did well there, the referee, because although he was obstructed and he could have stopped the game and given a foul, he let the fella go on. and he got in a good cross.
He's made one or two surging runs down the flank, Olivares. And the Bolivians, for the moment, being pinned back. Easy enough, though, for the goalkeeper, who I reckon is Trucco. We still haven't got the official list, as I was saying. We have got a list, but it's not the correct one, I'm afraid. Whoever he is, he's easy to recognise. Soria's pass. I think Melja. Romero looking to wriggle through. Shot on the turn, well saved. Purisaga down quickly.
I think he was offside. Not the fellow who did the dribble from the wide flank, but the man in the box was offside. But he's a hell of a good dribble, right in the pack of defenders.
Posing problems, Romero. Does look good on the ball. Such a feature of the South American game, of course, players who have tight, close control. That was a lovely ball through from Melja. I think the flag was up then for offside.
I'd like to see that one again. At the time the ball was played, because he looked level at least. Well, I know if he's level, he's offside, but he looked as though he was onside, let's put it that way, as the ball was threaded inside the fullback.
Glorious pass. Romero. Romalo. Romero again. He is really a constant thorn in the Peruvian flesh. Arano on the chase. Ferrufino gone over. Danger eventually cleared. They do like a roll on the grass, these South Americans.
Yes, they tend to they play act, don't they? I mean, I suppose they're in their own way. They're trying to go to the referee and hope that the referee will favour them in some way. I'll say this: within these World Cup groups, the referees in general have been very good.
I don't think he's going to stand for any nonsense here. Well, we'll give the player the benefit of the doubt. He does appear to have been hurt, and he's holding his face there.
Well, the defender who got hurt, he must be about 6'1", 6'2", and the little lad who made the run, he can only be about 5'8", so it's amazing he's got this knock in the face. It could have been his arm as he turned round, but it wouldn't be that bad.
There's a chance here, Hirano! Goalkeeper just managed to spread himself sufficiently to keep the ball out, but Hirano was almost in then.
Did well with his feet there, the keeper. Did super with his feet, but it was the pitch that made the chance. The bounce of the ball on the edge of the box was, it bounced over everybody's heads.
Well, that's got the crowd hoping now. A buzz around the ground. Hirano, first real chance that they've had. Peru. They come Bolivia again. Romero. El Solar, 6'4". Imposing figure in the midfield, Del Solar, only a young man too. And that's raised the tempo a little bit now. Hirano's near miss. Uribe. And away by Soria. Turn by Romero. Romero plays for Bolivar, one of the top clubs in Bolivia.
He looks a very skillful, confident player. I mean, when he gets the ball, he's going to work with it and let it go when he wants to let it go. You know, he lifts the ball over defenders' heads to get the pass away. Very skillful player.
That's the situation then halfway through the first half. Peru 0, Bolivia 0. But signs that the game is just beginning to liven a little now. Both sides beginning to ask questions of the opposing defence. Here's Hirano. Down he goes, but the referee sees nothing wrong and allows Bolivia to make progress upfield. Romero. Playing with a lot of confidence, Bolivia, as you'd expect after those 2 wins. And they were certainly very impressive against Uruguay. One of the world's leading nations, remember. Here's Olivares. Uruguay, I'm sure, will be a lot happier in Montevideo. It's another free kick to Peru, which they've taken too quickly for the referee's liking. The Bolivians, as we're saying, very much at home in the altitude of La Paz.
Well, they look super fit, the Bolivians. I mean, they are. They're kind of closing things down all the time, and they're all getting forward. When the ball goes into the Peruvian half, they're getting everybody forward.
Del Solar took the free kick. Uribe. The Bolivians dealing with most things that arrive in the air. Martinez, the 14. Kick again to Peru in a menacing situation. Drums are beating louder. Now, what will they try here? Uribe is there, Hirano. Well worked free kick. Very nearly opened up the Bolivian defence. Pepe, when he took over the side, said he wasn't too impressed with their speed or their fitness, but their creativity he couldn't question.
Well, I would agree with that, watching the game. I mean, when they're coming forward and they're playing their 1-2s and they're making their runs off the ball on the blind side of the Bolivians, they're doing quite well. But I mean, it's the Bolivians really who are putting the work rate in. They're getting forward, and they're getting back, they're closing people down, they're getting their foot in tackles.
It's a hefty clearance upfield. Away come Peru again. Certainly not a lot between the two sides at this stage. Here's Del Solar. And that's a baffling one. In a squad of 22, we have a man with number 23 on.
Yes. Well, that sounds like South America to me.
Olivares. Again, they're stringing their passes well together. The end product wasn't too good.
When they do that, I mean, they look like a Brazilian side. They come forward, and there's a lot of give and goes. People are playing it and running off the ball until they get the ball into an area where someone can smell a shot. He senses, though, he's going to get a shot in, as they did there.
But no test for our friend the Wasp in goal.
Well, that's right. If they can concentrate on getting it on the target, even if it bounces in front of the keeper with this pitch, there's a chance of a rebound.
And there's a chance on here. Two players waiting in the middle, more arriving. And the Bolivians quickly got players back. And they've got a break on themselves now. Romero's pass, a very intelligent one too. It's Melja. And in the end, steered back to Borisaga. A fleeting glimpse of goal for the Peruvians. And then that danger of the quick counter-attack from the Bolivians. Good contest from Hirano, only 5'4". Again, the Bolivians hustling and bustling the Peruvians out of their stride. Let's just apologise if the quality of your picture isn't what we would like. We're doing all we can to amend that as soon as possible. Throw to Bolivia. Almost half an hour gone. Still no score. One or two moments of anxiety, though, at both ends. Del Solar, who seems to be operating from a pretty deep position now, is Olivares. Off he goes loping down the flank. Good ball played in then. I think that's Navarro played it through. Safely into the arms of the Bolivian goalkeeper. Is Trucco. Olivares with a throw. Del Solar.
He's virtually playing as a sweeper, Del Solar. I mean, he's sitting well behind the other defenders.
Looks very cool in possession. Del Solar. He's given it away there, though. Here's Melja. Wanted some support and brought down by Olivares.
Well, because he's the sweeper, Del Solar, he is the man who's getting the freedom to bring the ball forward. Because the Bolivians are shutting everybody else down. And they're getting the ball back quite quickly when they do that. So he's the fellow, he's the spare defender who's there going to be a lot of responsibility on his passing. Now, can he pass it? If he passes it out well, he'll keep the Peruvians playing.
Del Solar from the University Club of Lima. Many of the side are from Sporting Cristal, who are the champions of Peru. One or two in the squad from Alianza, who lost all those players so sadly, so tragically in that air crash of 2 years ago that Don mentioned earlier. Free kick this time to Peru. Didn't qualify in '86 for the World Cup finals. They were there in '82 in Spain. Of course, in '78 in Argentina, they beat Scotland, went through to the next phase, and back in 1970, they got through to the quarter-finals. Foul was by Romalo. Fontana's clearance wasn't too effective. Again, just look how quickly they're closing the opposition down. Surya from number 6 there from midfield is getting through an awful lot of work. But a free kick to Peru. Del Solar taking charge. That's the view from behind the goal. Trucco prancing along his goal line. And the wall did its job pretty efficiently too. Hirano couldn't turn.
They've had those 3 free kicks now, the Peruvians, and they've all been just about that 25-yard mark, which is just that little bit too far out to really be effective. Once they get one in around the D, then they could, something could happen.
Well, they're going backwards here. A bit more purposeful now.
Well, they're going to have to at times. I mean, the Peruvians, unless they're played forward quickly and early, they're going to get closed down and have to go backwards.
Romero. So much good work is stemming from him. He's been fouled again. Free kick to Bolivia, which Fontana will be taking for them. Fontana from the strongest club, as they're called in Bolivia. Soria rather jumped into that tackle. That was very late, and he lunged at the opponent then. Referee allowing the advantage. Virano. Riva. Virano. Now the whistle's gone. Free kick to Bolivia after all that.
The referee averts a lot of trouble by letting the game go on in those instants. I mean, if he stops it we're not seeing the actual incident at the moment. That was offside. But if he stops it, as he could have done earlier on, I think all he would do, he'd have a swarm of both sets of players around him. They would be arguing, they'd all be shouting at the referee. By letting the thing go on, the players then have to kind of get working and get the shape of the team back and start doing things for the side.
Something we saw last week in the Brazil-Chile game. Once or twice the referee kept it going. It certainly did avert any flare-ups. Oh, he's okay now, back on his feet. And with 10 minutes to half-time, it's still Peru 0, Bolivia 0. Certainly a draw will be the least that Bolivia are looking for if they are to sustain this rather unexpected challenge. I think if they lost this one, it would be rather making it easy then for Uruguay. Of course, have the two home games to come. Uruguay having beaten Peru in Lima. Here's the free kick, taken by Martinez. Fontana. Strongly down the flank. Cut out though easily by Fontana.
But in general, they've got down that right flank 2 or 3 times now, but they can't deliver. You know, the ball perhaps hasn't even got past the first post.
Service has got to be better to the front players.
Defenders always cutting it out. Here's another one.
Yeah, the opportunity was there. Well, that was a good saving tackle. Safely in the arms of the goalkeeper, appeals for a penalty, turned down. Crowd going wild. And away goes Romero. Let's look again.
There's not many referees give pens on those type of things.
But in South America, who knows? Well, it wasn't given anyway.
Well, obviously the defenders do a lot of blocking, you know. I mean, they're holding the forward off each run to the ball. But very, very difficult for referees to give a pen in that situation.
I think we can safely say the Peruvian was looking for the penalty. He didn't get it. Meljar was the player initially in the way. Nearing half-time. I wonder if either team are going to achieve the breakthrough before the interval. Certainly little to choose between the teams. Peru having just slightly the edge in terms of chances. 7 minutes of the first half to go. Put in was from Ferrufino, from Bolivar. It's Bolivar the club as opposed to Bolivia the country. Meljar now from River Plate in Argentina. It's a lovely ball. The Peruvians could be stretched here. Cut up though by Hirano, back helping out his defence.
Don't understand why the forward didn't go on by himself then. You know, they slipped such a good ball through. They thought he'd attack into the box rather than check and kind of waste the play by going back square.
Rather wasted the opportunity then. Del Solar. Olivares. Now the Peruvian crowd becoming a little impatient. That's a measure really of how competently the Bolivians are defending. They're really not allowing any room to the Peruvians. They almost got some there. The goalkeeper managing to scoop it away. Wasn't that quick, but nonetheless the Peruvians had a glimmer of hope then.
Well, obviously the crowd are getting a little bit impatient, I suppose. They think Peru should be in the lead by now. It very rarely works out that way. And they knocked about, I mean, this move was quite a nice move.
Uribe. Again, it was a firm tackle on him.
This is the man who's got to do it, Del Solar. He's the free player.
Seems to be venturing further forward as the half goes on.
Yes, he's looking to break, yes.
Olivares. No joy there for Uribe. With Martinez, Elicio Martinez coming across. Here's Olivares. Strong finish of the half from Peru. Del Solar. Clearly favours his left foot.
They're defending quite well, the Bolivians. Their closing down is absolutely super. Sometimes a little bit undisciplined. I mean, they throw themselves in. But in general, their closing down has been very good. Their attitude is super.
And they're coming forward themselves now. But not for long. Here's Del Solar. Teasing ball through, but not good enough. Romero. Well, the Bolivians not committing too many players forward at this stage. They've had a fair bit of defending to do. Meljar to Romero. With players like him around, as always.
Well, what they're doing, they're leaving one player up. Most of the time, they've just got one player forward. And they're getting the ball up to him. As soon as they get position, they're getting the ball up to him, and then they're getting out and supporting him as quick as they can.
Ferrufino. Free kick given to Peru. Romero killed the ball in an instant. Good pass too. He has such vision, Romero. Now, something on here. A long, long shot. Way, way out. And way wide too. Saga off in pursuit. He wants to get on with it. 3 minutes to half time. If he'd scored from there, that would have been some goal. good defending.
It's just that lone player up the front, and every now and again they get a good ball into him. It's just his choice on whether he goes with it and goes all the way, or whether he gets hold of the ball and waits for support. But most of the balls up to him have been pretty good.
Uribe, that nearly got through. Peru now beginning to pressurize Bolivia. Can they turn that advantage into goals? One anyway before half-time. Not like that, they won't. Just Romalo there up front for Bolivia. So I think they're settling for a goalless first half. Martinez away for the throw. Definite urgency about Peru now. Uribe. Oh, great turn. Down he went. The referee, has he allowed the advantage, or has he given the free kick?
No, he's let it go. Hit up. I think rightly so. He tried to play a quick 1-2 to get on the return.
Super touch. Down he went.
And then he threw himself, really, and he wasn't in the box either.
So that all came to nothing. Peru try again. Another free kick. The Bolivians have conceded an awful lot of free kicks in the first half. The referee showing that he's noticing the attempt at time wasting. We're now into time added on for stoppages in the first half. Can Peru end the half with a flourish? Bolivia with just about everybody back defending. Chase is on now. Goalkeeper stretching, and he was caught in the face, but
that was a bit silly by the 9.
Hopefully he's not going to make too much of a meal of it, though. Goalkeeper, he was caught, but he's all right. And yes, that's a rather sporting gesture for the goalkeeper, showing that all is well. And the referee, I think, also deciding just to let things go on. We've now had almost 2 minutes of injury time. Over 1 minute, certainly. I think there'll be too much more, but there's a chance here. Oh! So nearly, and yes, a goal! And right on the stroke of half-time, the Bolivians have scored. And just look at their elation. The first shot, I think, came back off the post.
Yes, it did. And a good follow-up here. And he put it away nicely, really.
And it's our friend number 23, whoever he might be. Well, he's the hero of Bolivia.
Well, it was a nice move down this right side to start with, and they held it and played it a little bit. Then they crossed it into the box. He got headed out. The left arm picked it up. He went in, hit a super shot. Beat the keeper. Back from the post. And the player putting it in did very well.
Just when it seemed that Peru might find a goal before half-time, they've been caught out. Shot well hit. I think this is Soria here. Back off the post. The goalkeeper couldn't get there, and in comes our friend number 23 to slide it in. I'm sorry we can't bring you his name, but we don't have any team list at all from our friends in Lima, so we are none the wiser as to who he might be. But I tell you what, he'll be the toast of Bolivia at the moment.
Psychologically, it's a great time to get a goal. I mean, right on half-time like this. I mean, they can go in now and just relax and sort out exactly their plans for the second half, being in the lead, knowing for the fact the Peruvians have got no alternative but to come out and throw everything forward.
Well, they're looking for a second one here, but I think the whistle now has gone. Indeed, it has for half-time. So, what a marvellous end to the half for Bolivia. They lead here by 1-0. Orizaga beaten by the first shot that came back off the post. And Bolivia go in with their heads high, and their supporters celebrating. They lead here by a goal to nil, and if they can win this one, well, then things really are cracking for them. Remember, they've won their first 2 games, and they're very well placed now to go on to add to that tally in Lima. The half-time score is Peru 0, Bolivia 1. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back. The band are about to make their exit. The teams are on their way out, and soon we shall be starting the second half in Lima. Peru against Bolivia. If you're just tuning in, the Bolivians leading by a goal to nil. The goal scored right on the stroke of half-time, much to the delight of these Bolivian supporters, who've been really excited by their team's performances so far. And of course, the group, as we're saying, is still wide open. Uruguay against Bolivia. You can see these games on Screen Sport. What an important one that's going to be now on the 17th of September 1925 BST, and then Uruguay against Peru. So it's 2 home games for Uruguay to come. That's on the 24th of September. Well, just while we're waiting for the teams to get themselves ready and prepared for the second half, Don Howe, let's have a little chat with you about the decision today that Brazil have been awarded the match, which of course was abandoned last week. A game you may well have seen on Screen Sport. The Chileans refusing to come out, and they've paid the penalty for that.
Yeah, I mean, that really is the only decision that FIFA could take. There'd be so many reasons why the game couldn't be replayed now, and the Chileans obviously took the law into their own hands. You know, if it is that they'd perhaps come out with a substitute goalkeeper and played the rest of the game, FIFA that could have turned around and said, well, look, they've got on with it, we will have a replayed game. But because they went in the dressing room, they wouldn't come out. Really, you just can't do that. I mean, you are virtually saying that we're going to do as we want to do, and obviously FIFA can't go along with that. Also, the thing about if it had gone to another game, you could imagine, say, let's just imagine that the Brazilians were losing 1-0 with 20 minutes to go, and something happens. You know, do they pick that player up and cart him off the pitch and say, well, we're going to do exactly what the Chileans have done, and we're going to force another replay? You know, so I think that the decision is the correct one.
Well, Peru are rather slow coming out here for the second half. I thought for a horrible minute they weren't coming back, but here they come now. A goal down. I'm sure they've had a right ticking off too from Pepe, their Brazilian coach, at half-time. Certainly, if not a ticking off, then a G up anyway. He'll be wanting them to lift their game for the second half. A place in the World Cup finals in Italy next year is at stake from this group. The winners of the group go on. Uruguay the favourites, but Bolivia very much in contention, especially if they can win this game in Lima. Just to go back to the Brazilian situation, the Brazilians have been fined, so obviously that's for the flare being thrown by a young lady, we gather from the crowd.
I think that's pretty fair. I think that I know the lady owned up, but that can't go on. I was quite surprised really it was a fine. I thought they would have not let them play in the Maracanã for so many games.
Well, the alternative was to make them play again on a neutral ground, but you have to say, I suppose, the suspicion is there that the FIFA committee weren't all that convinced that the goalkeeper was as injured as he suggested.
Yes, that's right.
He did seem to be leaving the field with blood all over him, but whether that was inflicted by the flare does seem open to doubt. But that is the decision. Brazil have been awarded the game by 2 goals to nil. They were leading 1-0 at the time. That's, I think, old Pepe there, old Brazilian.
Yes.
Looks a bit tubbier now than in his playing days.
Yes, he was a terrific outside left. He used to come off the line a lot and combine with Pelé. Lovely player.
Brazil are through to the finals, and Bolivia are very hopeful that they might make it for the first time since 1950, and what an upset that would be. Well, they're 45 minutes away from an excellent result in Lima, leading 1-0. Can they hold on for the second half? And it'll be interesting to see what tactics they now adopt. I would imagine, Don, they'll continue much as they did in the first half.
Yeah, they've got no alternative but to get people forward, get players forward, get the ball in and around the box. And
the Peruvians, but saying with Bolivia, they're going to play still with the one up front and hope to exploit that situation.
I mean, Bolivia will just leave it the same, but the Peruvians have just got to go forward.
Haven't really extended Trucco yet. Del Solar. But it did seem towards half-time that Peru were just threatening to get on top, and then suddenly a goal at the other end that has really set Bolivia up for the second half. And they're going to chase everything now. They're going to hassle and harry in midfield, close players down, and make it very difficult for Peru. There's the first instance of that.
Free kick. They'll force those back passes. I mean, you know, they'll go and close everything down and make the Peruvian defenders play back the goalkeeper.
This is Soria, player that hit the post in the move that led up to the goal. It's Romalo rather, with the shot. Jostling going on there, and the referee has now given the free kick to Peru. Now, can they build something here? Again, the Bolivian defence looks strong and resolute and determined, and away they come on the break. Romalo, though, not the best of passes from him. Olivares for Peru. They've got to attack Bolivia. The Bolivians are making it very hard for them, not allowing them any space at all. And that won't help their cause. Passes that they've got to go and pursue before they can even get the move going. Well controlled then by a bad tackle. Yellow card. Had to be.
Well, I know it's not their game, but they're going to have to play the ball forward a lot earlier. I mean, there, the ball was played up virtually just from inside the Peruvian half, and he hit the forward well and created the foul. They're going to have to do that. Playing about on the halfway line because of the closing down is not going to help.
So, can the Peruvians find a goal here? El Solar is there, taken by him and well held. Trucco with his body right behind the shot.
Well, it wasn't a fantastically hard shot, but at least he was along the ground, and he could have took a kick, but the Bolivian goalkeeper held onto it very well. You know, he touched it to his body.
Another little trip. There are a lot of niggly fouls going on out there, but the Bolivians, as you can expect, so committed, so determined to take both points from this game, to keep their 100% record going. 2 wins at home to Peru and Uruguay. Romero. Got players up here. Romalo. Soria waiting in the middle. If he can get his cross in, well, surely he handled that then. Don't think it was there.
Actually, the Peruvians are getting more frustrated and more frustrated. They're having a go at each other a little bit.
Riva. That's how it stands, 5 minutes into the second half. Bolivia leading Peru by a goal to nil. The goal right on the stroke of half-time. Scored by this fellow. The unknown player, we should have to refer to him as number 23. Meljar. Romero's flick. Perhaps a little fortuitously then. This is Soria, who's had a very impressive game. Beavering away in midfield, and he was brought down. That came back off the post.
He's a very good left midfield player, and he's getting forward to that inside left spot, and he can work the ball, and he's already shown that he's got a good shot around that box.
Good finish too from Romano. The whistle had gone anyway, but he had a crack and it came back off the post again. Now if the Bolivians can get another one here, that could well seal it for them. Meljar is there and Romero. Here's Romero. He's curled it well, but not beyond the goalkeeper. Off come Peru, but they're looking a little dispirited at times. Olivares. Martinez whacking it forward.
What it is, Peter, it's the frustration of not being able to pass the ball around, you see. They're not used to people hustling as well as the Bolivians are hustling. And they're making mistakes with their passing. And there again, it's happened again, and you know, when this happens, they can't handle it. You know, really, what they ought to do now is get themselves a deep sweeper, so if they can't go forward, it can go back to him, as Del Solar was doing in the first half, and then he's got the time and space to play the ball forward. Because the hardest man to hustle, to close down in a football game, is a sweeper.
The Bolivians really are competing tigerishly for every ball. This is Meljar with the free kick for them. They lead 1-0. Easily cut out. Quick break from the Peruvians. Uribe, good ball in. Is this the equaliser? Yes! Oh, tucked away delightfully.
Well, that's a super goal, and it's exactly what we said. It was played forward early, and it was played over 40 yards. Then there was a second pass, a lovely second pass, and a well-taken goal.
8 minutes into the second half, it's 1-1. Again, I'm afraid information is so short for us in Lima that we can't give you the name of the goal scorer. He was wearing number 9. Didn't he take it well?
Ball going forward.
Great ball through.
Lovely ball forward.
Uribe then. And that's a good finish. Good strike. It's 1-1. And suddenly we've got a game on. So, it's a corner to Bolivia. Taken by Romero. Not very well. Just listen now to the roar of the crowd. They'll be lifted now. Suddenly the pressure is on Bolivia. They'll need to calm things down now.
Oh, the pressure's the other way around now. I mean, the Bolivians now find it. I mean, they're making their breaks quicker. They've got a spare man outside left there. He should have got the shot on the target.
Just when they were looking down and out, Peruvians equaliser, and they're back in the game. Del Solar. Well, the Bolivians, I would think at the outset, wouldn't have been that unhappy with the draw, but at half-time it was looking so good for them. Less so now. I think they're going to have some pretty intense attacking to defend. Tremendous noise from the crowd. Seemed to be asleep for parts of the first half, but very much behind their team now. And they're pressing again. That was more danger to the policeman behind the goal than to Trucco.
Well, they've got back on top now, Peru. Now they've got to have that little bit more composure around the box.
Certainly no chance for the goalkeeper with the shot. Produced the goal.
Well, the quality of the goal was the passing before the goal, Peter. I mean, there was two super passes.
We were talking earlier about their creativity and their vision, and there's no doubt about that. They are very impressive in that area, the Peruvians. And they've got the bit between their teeth now. Garano hobbled unkindly for him. There's a new zest about Peru. Uribe. He very nearly got his teammate into trouble. In fact, he may well have done. Romero. Bolivians striking back, but unsuccessfully.
Psychology of football. I mean, it really is amazing what a goal does for a team. I mean, they look down and out, and they look as though they're all niggling at each other. All of a sudden they get a goal, and everybody's flying everywhere.
They're visibly lifted now.
Yes.
No two ways about that. Referee was unhappy about the challenge. One of the Bolivians down. Perez, I think, number 15, but can't confirm that, I'm afraid. Olivares. Now that is Sanchez warming up, number 16. He's come on in the two earlier games. And it looks as if he's about to do so again. Sanchez, Edwin Sanchez from the Olivar club. Meljar, experienced international, 65 caps, Meljar.
En la selección nacional de Bolivia. Con el número 10,
It'd be interesting to see whether he's a defender or an attacker. If he goes in defence, it means to say that virtually settled for a draw. If he goes up front, they'll be looking for
Midfield, I think.
the midfield player, yes.
Because Romero has gone off, so perhaps he's tiring a little. Not as young as he used to be, but he's certainly made his presence felt, hasn't he, Romero?
Yes, he's been worth that first hour.
Does seem so often now the trend that the star man, the ball player, wears number 10, and no exception in this side. Used to be number 9 when I played. I never got to wear number 9, but it used to be 9. Peruvians looking to launch another attack here. Back on level terms, Hirano. It's hard to shake off, he's only a little fellow. A bit of a misunderstanding then. Sanchez involved straight away, as if he slotted into the left side of midfield. Throw to Peru, a quarter of an hour gone in the second half. This World Cup qualifying match in Lima. Tirano still working hard, but crowded out, then three green shirts around him. Romalo's done well to keep it in play. Sanchez. Still Sanchez, making for the byline. That could have been dangerous if he'd pulled that one back. There again, the aggression shown by the Bolivians, and a free kick to Peru. He didn't really make the best of that situation.
No. He tried to, for some unknown reason, he tried to pass the ball across the 6-yard box. I think it'd have been better off if it had kind of hit it hard and low.
Foul by Uribe. It's a free kick to Bolivia. They did struggle in the South American Championships, Bolivia. They lost 3-0 to Uruguay, 5-0 to Chile. Then they did have goalless draws with Ecuador and Argentina, but they failed to score in the South American Championships. And one or two players were punished for that. They were forced to make changes for this World Cup qualifying group. So far, they've been pretty successful ones. 2-1 wins, and now it's 1-1 in Lima. Sanchez in a little bit of difficulty. Whistles from the crowd. It'll be too long for Uribe. Tied it up by Fontana at the back. Del Solar, neatly through. Uribe. Peruvians looking positive. Safely through to the goalkeeper. Definitely raised their game now in the second half, Peru. Having got the goal back.
The goals absolutely kind of lifted them, without a doubt. And if they do move it quickly and they play a lot of one-touch and play the ball early, then they give the Bolivians a lot of problem. It's when a player sits on the ball and has too many touches. It gets closed down, and obviously they lose the ball or they can't get a pass away, then they get frustrated by it. But when they pass it early and play a lot of one-touch,
Olivares, looping stride as he forced the corner. Melja, very composed under pressure. Del Solar, starting from the back. You can see the Bolivians just committing one or two players upfield. They're having to soak up some pressure. But they haven't given up hope, certainly, of scoring another one themselves. Melja. If they can come through this one with a draw and then hold Uruguay, going to be very interesting indeed. Uribe. Ball was out of play though, I think. The referee had certainly stopped the game. It's a throw to Bolivia. Melja giving it away to Olivares. Bolivians conceding ground. Nothing else at that stage. Marlowe was going nowhere. All the tackles were flying in. The referee has given the free kick to Bolivia. And a yellow card.
That was for dissent.
He said something, didn't he?
Well, he said something, and he also kind of gave the referee a sarcastic clap.
So, a free kick to Bolivia, approaching the halfway point in the second half. It's 1-1 in Lima. Peru 1, Bolivia 1. Bolivians going ahead just before half-time. Peru coming back in the second half, and very strongly. Solar. Olivares. Serrano. Olivares is more forward again. Only half away. Still a chance. Too many defenders in the end. Here's Sanchez. Surprise number 55 appears. Free kick to Peru. Gerardo wants to take it. No way he'll be able to.
Yeah, there's two players standing over the ball this time.
And the whistles and cheers from the crowd, who are getting very impatient.
Well, it's an indirect free kick. Be interesting to see what they come up with.
It's 1-1 with 15 minutes of this World Cup game to go in Lima. Plenty of arm waving, gesticulating. I don't think anyone was 10 yards away then, but they took
Well,
it.
the ploy really was to... I mean, the Peruvians were asking for 10 yards, but really that was to kind of disguise that the kick would be taken at a certain point.
Well, the outcome of it all is that it's a free kick for Bolivia. Still unbeaten in the group, if this should stand at 1-1. Uruguay have dropped 2 points from the away game with Bolivia. Out goes Gerardo yet again. He's been tumbled a few times in
Yes,
this
he
game.
has. Well, he's small, and every time he gets it, he runs with it. I mean, that seems to be his game.
Levy. It looked threatening for a second, but now the threat could be at the other end. So here, another free kick, and the second half has been littered with free kicks. Stoppages of one thing or another. And it stopped the game flowing really in any way, and it hasn't been a very attractive last quarter of an hour or so. And when a player goes down, especially if he's Bolivian, he tends to stay down for a while.
He has a quick look at the referee and gets off out of the way. He's dead right. I mean, I suppose they're used to it.
Marlowe ploughing through. Oh, beyond the goalkeeper, and it's there! It's the second goal for Bolivia.
That's the hard and low
They
one.
struck again. Sanchez. And it's 2-1. Well,
Well, he did well to squeeze through. I mean, he was bumping and boring, but he did the right thing at the end of it. He slammed it hard and low across the 6-yard box.
And it's
just
the
to tap it.
substitute. The substitute, Sanchez, who has restored Bolivia's lead. The goalkeeper there couldn't get to it. It was well pulled back, and Sanchez was on hand to deliver the killer blow. So Bolivia have suddenly struck back again, and they've retaken the lead. Well, the Peruvians look very angry. Just when they thought they were getting on top, the Bolivians have scored a second goal, and now may well be heading for another vital win. Well, you have to give them full credit, but they keep going, and they've not allowed the Peruvians to take command in any way. And now they're back on top. Can Peru fight back again? Soria. Well, the crowd has gone quiet. Apart from the Bolivians here at the Jose Diaz Stadium. And they will be ecstatic now. And you can say that the substitution has paid off. They took off Romero, remember, and brought on Sanchez.
Well, he has got involved straight away. I mean, he's been on the ball a lot. I mean, he's worked down this left side. Normally, it's him going down this left side. This time, they got down the left side off the front player, and he's got on the end of his cross.
A bit of confusion at the back then, though, among the Bolivians, and they've given away the corner. Oh, surely a foul. That's got to be a penalty.
Yes.
It's given. It's given. Had to be a penalty.
Oh, he didn't take one leg, he took both legs.
So in the space of 2 minutes, we've had a goal at one end, and that was a clear penalty. Now there's a chance for a second equaliser for Peru. And the Bolivians, really, they're protesting, but I can't on earth.
Well, the defender just lost his head. I mean, he was first to the ball as he came in.
Crazy tackle.
And he knocked it onto the forward in the box. And then he just went completely silly. Just lost his discipline, threw his legs out, took both legs to the Peruvian player.
Oh, the Bolivians will be furious. Jorge Haberge, the coach, certainly will be livid there, that lack of discipline. Still they're protesting, but it's absolutely no doubt at all that was a penalty. The referee has done a fair job in this game, and no alternative at all then but to award the kick.
Well, the idea really is to put pressure on the kicker, you see. I mean, it's another ploy that really shouldn't go on. I mean, they're hoping that the kicker will get a little bit kind of worried or a little bit nervous.
So here it is, this for 2-2. Crowd obeying expectantly. He saved it! Oh, that was a great save. Marvellous stop.
That's a good save at the foot of the post, down on his right hand. He got down there very quickly. He read it well.
It seemed to be fairly well struck. But the goalkeeper has guessed correctly.
Well, he sold him a dummy, the goalkeeper. He gave him a little bit as though he's going to go to his left, then he went to his right. And he never... Is it firm enough, but not
accurately enough, and certainly not enough to beat the goalkeeper.
Oh,
Now we've got another
There's another
insert of a player appearing to be poleaxed, diving to the ground. The Bolivians very fortunate indeed to still be leading. Just under 10 minutes and a half to go.
they're getting out of control.
They're getting very heated. South American temperament very much to the fore.
There's one thing about these games, I mean...
They do love a stretcher.
You never go to sleep, do you?
Here comes the stretcher.
There's no way that's a stretcher job. I mean, he's just got a tap in the face. If he got a tap in the face.
And we saw, of course, Terry Butcher with England last week. I don't think Terry would have gone off like that. Rather a different attitude to it all. Here's the free kick. Bolivia still lead 2-1, and they have their goalkeeper, Chucko, to thank. It's a game that's certainly had its dramatic moments. I can't say it's the best game of football I've ever seen, but certainly there have been incidents, and we've had goals, we've had a penalty save, and now we've got a wrestling match. And there have been too many fouls, really, Don, for it to have flown in anything.
Yes, well, I mean, that's how it goes now. It'll be non-stop like this right the way through to the end. You know, there'll be a foul kind of every 30 seconds.
But what a fillip for Bolivia to have gone back in front, and then for the penalty save to preserve that lead. And you have the feeling now as yet another player is down writhing that this is going to be Bolivia's day, but you're not really endeared to them when they behave like this. And the referee just waving play on, not interested.
He's doing exactly right. I mean,
and there's another bump in the face. Tempers are getting a little out of hand. But what is undeniable is that Bolivia are now just a few minutes away from yet another.
well, there's six
valuable
minutes,
2
there's
points.
6 minutes to go, and I bet there'll be at least 12 fouls.
And on that optimistic note from Don Howell,
Right, so, I mean, the Bolivians will be over every time they get the chance.
3, 4 of them going in then. As you say, down goes the player. There's the free kick. They got to hold on to this lead if they possibly can now, having gone so close to losing it with the penalty. But I don't think it's going to be a very pretty finale to this game. But the Bolivians won't worry about that. If they finish this with 6 points out of 6, that's a tremendous start. Eljar.
They've gone, the Peruvians. They've absolutely gone.
Well, is it possible now? Can Bolivia go on to qualify?
Well, I mean, this will put them in a hell of a good position. I think Uruguay are obviously got more experience and they have got the better individual player.
I mean, I'm saying it's a good start. They've only got one more to play, and if they come through that with a draw against Uruguay.
But they're so fit, and they're pretty well organised.
And they're almost there. 2-1 they lead. And there are just 5 minutes of this World Cup tie remaining. And the Bolivians hanging on grimly. Very grimly at times. Still hope for Peru. They'll have to keep their heads up. They had that perfect opportunity to bring the game level again. Squandered by the penalty miss.
I mean, if they'd have scored from the pen, it would have really put pressure on the Bolivians in this last 5 minutes. But when it's gone the other way and the goalkeeper saved the pen, he's put the pressure now on Peru.
And it certainly added to Bolivia's resolve. Determined to hold on. Header away was from Martinez. 33 years old.
The best thing they can do now, the Peruvians, is get the ball in the box.
Well, they're doing that straight away. Chance here. Girano couldn't get his shot in. Just look at those Bolivian defenders swarming around the penalty area and now breaking out very quickly. Here's Sanchez. Well, the move has died down. And back to the goalkeeper. That's the safest route for them at this stage, I imagine. 3 minutes left. Peru 1, Bolivia 2. What a contrast in their results. Peru facing 3 defeats. Bolivia on the verge of 3 wins. Sanchez was hauled back. That'll waste a few more seconds. I don't suppose he'll get up too quickly.
Well, that's just a silly foul. I mean, they can't afford to give any time away by giving a foul away, the Peruvians.
But in fact, it wasn't Sanchez, but it was Sanchez who gave Bolivia the lead for the second time, and it's he now on the ball here. Still, they're battling tenaciously, the Bolivians, in sight of victory. Off Martinez for a throw to Peru, with time running out for them. The crowd certainly appearing rather despondent. When Peru scored that first equaliser, I think all their supporters felt they would go on from there to win the game. That hasn't happened. And the Bolivians are looking for a third to clinch it, but no, Soria pulled up. And it's Peru on the attack again. Just a minute or so remaining. Himself out of that one well. Eventually, anyway.
It's got to go in the box. If they're going to get an all-important equaliser, it's got to go in the box.
Just 40-odd seconds to go. And the Bolivians will look to retain possession now. And you can imagine the scenes of delight that there will be among the players and their supporters if they do seal it. Meljar. We're now into time added on for stoppages. Meljar threading it through. Here's Sanchez. Inspired substitution, they will claim. Romalo, can he finish it now? It's a good save.
2 good tackles on the halfway line made that chance.
Well, that really would have ended it if that one had gone in. Good save though by the goalkeeper. We're not sure whether he's Purisaga or Gonzalez. In case you weren't with us earlier, get any team lists, I'm afraid, for the match in Lima here. But hopefully that hasn't detracted from your enjoyment of the game in any way. Meljar wanting to take the corner, but not too quickly. It's another corner, more seconds being wasted. Again, they're taking a short one. You can see there from the clock, we're now deep into injury time, and the Bolivians are only seconds away, surely now. The Peruvians can't get the ball out of their own half at this stage.
Well, there was no way that corner was going to be knocked in the middle. They were going to keep it in that corner and waste some more time.
Soria. He, for me, has been as outstanding as anyone for the Bolivians.
Without a doubt, he's been Bolivia's best player.
They've done well here. Romalo going down, appeals for a penalty, but it's all over anyway. The final whistle has gone, and celebrations among the Bolivian supporters and the players. Well, it's 6 points out of 6. Peru, for their coach Pepe, it's 3 defeats. It's a very disappointing end to their World Cup campaign, but Bolivia's is very much alive. And that's how the group stands now then. 6 points from 3 matches. Uruguay 2 from 2. Peru without a point from their 3 games. And with Uruguay still to play home games against Peru and Bolivia, they're going to be the crunch games. And I would think the one against Bolivia, Uruguay-Bolivia, that's going to be some game.
That's going to be the big one. That's going to be the one that whoever wins that one goes through.